Hello everyone. Welcome to a short introduction to a paper of me and my co-authors that was recently accepted at tenure, in which we developed a machine learning approach to detect potentially harmful and predictive suicide-related tweets. Media effects research on suicide has found that how and what suicide-related media report about suicide can influence the behavior of individuals at risk of suicidal behavior. The best known and most robust effect research has found is the so-called Werther effect, which occurs, for example, after exposure to reportings on the death of celebrities. So this means that afterwards there is an increase of suicide rates in the population. Fortunately, there's also effects in the opposite direction. So after exposure to media content that features hope or coping with a suicidal crisis, there is a Papacino effect that means a decrease in suicide rates in the population. The importance of social media has really grown in recent years, in particular for young adults, but also in general. And despite this, there are still very few studies on effects of social media content on suicide rates in the population. And even research on traditional news media very often only features small data sets, and this is due to the huge effort required to manually label large quantities of data according to all the different characteristics that might be relevant for suicide prevention. This is why we developed a machine learning classification approach, which enables then large-scale analysis of many different types of characteristics, in this case for tweets. First, we developed a systematic annotation scheme that contains and describes all the important categories for suicide prevention that are frequently also seen on Twitter. And then, based on our training data set, we trained different machine learning models, including both more traditional ones as well as transfer learning approaches with BERT and ExcelNet, two deep learning models, and then tested which one performed best at recognizing the important tweet categories. So today I want to present only the results for 6 main tweet categories. For more, check out the paper. So we distinguished with the machine learning models personal stories about coping, personal stories about suicidal thoughts and attempts, tweets trying to spread awareness for the problem of suicide, tweets trying to spread prevention-related information, and reportings of suicide cases in the news. And then we have one large category here that subsumes all other types of tweets that contain suicide-related keywords. And here are already the results. We observed best performances with the 2 deep learning models, BERT and ExcelNet, and their performance was very similar, so undistinguishable. These models performed similar to the performance of humans when we compare 2 human coders with each other. And importantly, we observed real differences between different categories. So more homogeneous categories like prevention-related tweets are easiest to recognize and find for the machine learning model. Here you see the performance scores for BERT. So we have performances of 80 and even 90 for precision and recall. Most categories perform around 80 or 70 for these 2 metrics, and then for the suicidal ideation tweets, we see lower precision and even lower recall, and the error analysis of both the errors of humans and the model showed that this is largely due to a confusion of tweets that are authentic suicidal thoughts and tweets that are sarcastic or use the word suicide to exaggerate something bad. And there are actually a lot of those tweets on Twitter. So here there is some room for improvement, but this is difficult to distinguish for both humans and the model. As a kind of face validity check, if our model performs well on all kinds of tweets that it has never seen, we made predictions on a large data set of around 7 million tweets, and then calculated the daily tweet volume for 3 years for tweets posted in the US. And here you can see these timelines for prevention-related tweets and suicide case tweets. And you can see that whenever there is a major peak and we go and check which tweets and words are particularly frequent, they do refer to the kind of event that you would expect. So here the World Suicide Prevention Day, efforts of NGOs around Christmas or the New Year to spread prevention-related information about suicide. All the big tweets for suicide case tweets correspond to actual celebrity suicides. And what's really important for me to mention at the end is that the follow-up paper on a time series that does a time series analysis with this shows that there is actually a protective association of tweets about coping stories with calls to the suicide lifeline in the US, and there are protective associations of prevention tweets with calls to the lifeline as well as suicide cases. So using these kinds of results can actually help to save lives. With this, I want to thank you for your attention, and I want to thank all of my collaborators, in particular Hubert Brzezinski, who did most of the machine learning work. If you're interested, make sure to check out the accepted version of our paper on arXiv. Thank you very much.